Welcome, my amazing viewers. Thank you so much for joining me on my program once again. I appreciate you wherever you are joining from. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please kindly subscribe to my channel. Click the notification bell so that you'll be notified each time I upload a video. You will be among the first to receive it. Thank you so much, and remember.
You heard what those leaders are saying, Mr. Ahmed. Fear about propaganda and hate speech. We're going into the campaign. These fingers are pointing to the political class, you and your friends in your party and other political parties. And these are very clear-cut danger if we're not careful. These are strong warnings for us before we get into this election. Let me get your take first and foremost.
Well, I couldn't agree more with what the leaders have said. I think propaganda, fake news, I think these are things that have been, subject of discussion around the world, globally, actually, not only in Nigeria, because I think there was a lot of Senate and House committee hearings in the United States of America with a lot of the big techs, what do you call the Facebooks, the social media big giants, in dishing out fake news or giving an avenue or platform for people to exacerbate fake news or propaganda and this. But I think it's not only the responsibility of political parties. I think it's the responsibility of every well-meaning Nigerian and a citizen of this country to take this very seriously. There are so many things that are going on, so many fake news and propaganda. I mean, technology has made it so easy for people to just churn out news and create fake accounts and send out all this kind of fake news that undermines the security of a nation, that threatens the national security and the fabric that holds us together. So I totally agree with them, and I think it's a responsibility for everyone. Political parties would have to do their part. Government will have to do its part. The candidates, when they're speaking, they would have to eschew as much as possible anything that would undermine the security of the country and the fabric that holds us together and promote peace and stability. And more importantly, like General Abdulsalami Abubakar said in what he just put up, there was voter apathy, to a large extent in the last two election cycles. With a bit of insecurity in some places, we might be fearing that as well as we go along. So these are things that we have to, pay attention to and be able to see how we can get most of our voters out, encourage them to come out and vote and exercise their civic responsibility in choosing the next set of leaders. So I think I totally agree with that.
All right. I'll get Charles's response on this, but that's going to be after the break, because thank you so much, everyone, for staying with us on the program. The conversations ahead of 2023, the caustic nature of campaign exchanges that we see in the political climate in Nigeria gets us talking. And there are already warnings. Yesterday, today, leaders of thought are speaking about this matter. Two representatives of the major political parties, as they usually called in Nigeria, are speaking with us on the program tonight. Mr. Ismail Ahmed, a lawyer and a supporter of the Bola Tinubu campaign organization, and is of the APC, and from Asaba. Virtually, he's one of the spokespersons of the PDP presidential campaign organization, Chasiedu Aniagu. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for joining us. Let me come to you quickly, Charles. When they talk about conversation, how things have gone awry sometimes between political parties, how difficult it is to talk about issues, how difficult it is to engage without having to touch on personalities and the characters of people. And it touches on these two major political parties. Your party especially, you've hit out at other political parties. These are warnings to the political class. Let me get your view, just like the way I asked Ismail.
Well, thank you very much, and I'm happy you are taking up these issues. I must also appreciate our leaders who are bringing this topic to the fore once again. And it's important that every Nigerian appreciate the need for us to stay on the issues, and there are very many reasons why we have to stay on the issues. And I'm also happy that our party, particularly our presidential candidate, have clearly identified what the issues are. It is only those who don't understand what the issues are that try to bring up propaganda or try to look for how to attack individuals. We have, if you recall the last time I met with you in your studio, been able to reel out the number of issues that we needed to deal with. I listened very carefully to your interview with the spokesman of the president. You could see that he was not even able to give you the answers you needed, which of course will put some element of smile on the face of Nigerians. Those issues you have pointed out are very, very clear. The need for us to revamp our economy, the need for us to bring security back to our people, the need for us to ensure that power is devolved to the different component parts of this country, the need for us to address issues of education to the extent that today, for over 220-something days, our children are at home, and of course, the need for us to deal with the issues that have to do with our diversity, because the poor management of that diversity have brought us to where we are, leading to other symptomatic issues that have become very, very deadly and very, very disturbing. And so when you look at this number of candidates, who is that candidate that has been able to identify the issues? Atiku Abubakar is the only one who has a policy document, and when you look at this, it says, "My covenant with Nigerians." He's the only one who has been able to bring up documents saying what he needed to do. And that is why we are desirous of stating and staying online in line with those policy pronouncements that the candidates have been able to put forward. We will continue to stay on that path because those are the issues that agitate the minds of Nigerians. For anybody to abandon those issues and begin to attack other fellow candidates who also have both that constitutional and democratic right to also seek for the same office, it means that that person is trying to inflict more injury on Nigerians that are already, whose life is already battered because of the abysmal performance of the government in some years past. So for us in the PDP and for our candidates, we will continue to identify the issues, and not only identify these issues, but also provide solutions to these issues, because talk is cheap. Others can come and tell you that the Naira is weak. We know that the Naira is weak, and every Nigerian knows that the Naira is weak. That is not what we're going to be doing in the PDP. We will go beyond telling you that the Naira is weak to tell you what we are going to do to strengthen the Naira. We will not take the part of insulting other Nigerians because, number one, we recognize that it is their right to also seek for the same office that we are seeking. But beyond those who are contesting, we also recognize the right of Nigerians who are not even contesting to be told what needed to be done for their life to be better. After all, the whole purpose of government is very clearly stated in Section 14, subsection 2, paragraph B of the Nigerian Constitution, which makes it very, very clear that security and the welfare of the people is the primary purpose of government. So we stay on course. In
all right. PDP. So let me, and I would like Ismail also to weigh in on this, because what is at stake here is the issue, fundamental. Those are primary. But also there are secondary conversations also that some of us will not run away from. And is the character and the personalities of those who wants to be the leaders of Nigeria at every strata, and not only the president, but attention is on who wants to be the number one citizen of the country, the next Nigeria's president. And now the question of the health of the candidate, because nobody will hire a CEO of a company that you have invested a lot of money on if you do not have a healthy and a fit leader or CEO. Nigerians will also want to know whether or not age is on the side of anyone they will hire as a CEO. Nigerians will also want to know whether or not the track record of those who are seeking in office is fit for the role, because after all, there are requisite qualifications to run for this office, not the minimum. I'm not sure Nigerians deserve the minimum qualifications to sit in that very exalted seat of the president. Nigerians also want to know whether or not these people have integrity. But people misconstrue all of these issues as a side issue. These are fundamental issues. But will your candidate be able to answer some of these questions? Is your party able to come onto the plate and be able to answer these questions? The age, the health, the track record of your candidate and what he brings to the table.
So far, you can testify that Atiku Abubakar is not being challenged as to his ability to be able to deal with issues that he has clearly put out in his policy document. We do know those who records are very much unknown, whether in terms of their school, in terms of their age, in terms of the state where their parents gave birth to them. all those issues, I agree that Nigerians need to look at it. Because if you are employing somebody to come and work, you need to be able to have certain records. Even when you are employing ordinary a driver, you want to know where he's from, what is academic qualification. The moment those issues are subject of suspicion, it means that there is something to hide. And so for us, we have not only been able to put it out, we are very much ready as a political party to showcase identity of those who are putting forward to be able to preside over the affairs of Nigeria. And we're talking specifically Atiku Abubakar and Governor Ifeanyi Okowa of Delta State. These two individuals, their record are very well known. And at any given time, anybody calls for them, we will make it available. We will not begin to ask you to go to the court for us to be able to show you their certificates, their age, what they have done in the past, what they are going to be able to do. But you do know those who do not have those records handy. And who
are the people? Are you referring to Ismail's party? Let me allow Ismail to the same question I asked you. Ismail, your turn.
Well, I think you modeled up a lot of questions. I don't know.
I didn't. I asked him and was responding. It's your turn. So let me see the questions modeled up.
No, it's because you spoke for a long time, so I was wondering which one were the questions you were referring to. First of all, look.
Do you want me to rephrase the question so that
I'm good. Let me answer.
We don't get a model.
I'm good.
Go ahead.
First of all, I don't think anyone is afraid. We are. My candidate is not afraid of records, and we are going to stay on the issues. Campaign is going to open up on the 28th of this month. We can't wait for the campaign to open up. We can't wait to hit the trail and tell Nigerians what we have done. And these are people, both of our candidates, the presidential candidate and the vice presidential candidate. These are people that have been governors for 8 years, each in their states. These are states that Lagos is the beacon of light and hope in this country. One of the major economies in Africa, certainly probably the biggest in sub-Saharan Africa and West Africa, for example. And it was as a result of a blueprint that someone has laid down and has ensured that the political stability and the economic and progressive growth of that state has been shown. And this is somebody that has stayed in his state, reached out to other parts of the Southwest, created avenue for progressive leaders to emerge, leaders that we hear their names today in the political spectre of this country, and that we are proud of them wherever we go. You know, these are people that have come under his tutelage. And like I've always said, Ashwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu doesn't, we are going to come out with our policy document. We already have our policy document. When the campaign starts, we're going to bring it out because, you know, we have to wait for the law to allow us to do that. But other than that, there is a living thing, an object that you can show for what he has been able to do at the time that he was given an opportunity in his state in Lagos. You can point out exactly what Kashim Shettima has been able to do when he was governor of Borno State. You can point out to all the things that this government has been able to do with the meager resources that we have found out. Yes, we have had challenges in government. Government is a continuum. It's not no one size fit all. No one government or one administration, either in 4 years or 8 years, will tackle every problem. And we have seen some of these individuals that are in other political parties who have had opportunities as well to govern in either states or at the federal level. And we have seen what it has become. They have themselves campaigned against the very record that they supposedly put on themselves. Because I remember there is a candidate now who is running for president, who has run for president before in our political party. He ran for primaries, for example, and castigated the same government that he was part of earlier. So if he was going to run against his own record, that's what you would call it if there was a record, if he is going to go against his own record, it makes our job easier. No one in this country would say that Lagos is not working, or Borno, Kashim Shettima did not do well, or our governors El-Rufai, or Sanwo-Olu today in Lagos, or most of the governors we have across the country that have done very well under the auspices of the APC mantra and the progressive movement. So that's what we are. We are ready for issues. We are not shying away from issues. And every genuine question you have that has to do with the character of the persona and the character of a leader, it's a valid question. It's a fair game. Bring it on. When the campaign starts, we'll give them answers, and the candidate will answer some of the questions himself. There's no two ways about it. People keep talking as if We're trying to hide. What are we going to hide by somebody that has been a senator in the 90s, a governor in 1999 to 2007, and he has been there and open for everybody to see? What are we hiding? You know, and then you keep talking about somebody is not healthy, somebody is healthy. We are a deeply religious country. I've heard you on your program so many times
ask questions about it.
Okay, fine, that's okay. Yeah. That's fine, you know, if you have any evidence.
Is it not? If
you have any evidence that any of the
questions?
No, absolutely, that's what I said.
Okay.
It's a valid question. If you have any evidence that any of the candidates is not fit to be in office, by all means, bring it on. By all means, any of the candidates is not fit to be in office, by all means, bring
These
it
are
on.
critical questions because Ismail, I'm not sure you go to the hospital. I'm not sure you're going to be in the hospital to be treated by a sick doctor.
What do you mean by that?
No, I'm asking. So, I mean, you raise the issue of health, and I'm saying that it will be right thinking to find someone who is fit, not only in outlook, but in health, to be able to lead a country as much as 200 million people have.
No, I said that's a valid question.
Yes,
that's
I'm saying. So
but it only becomes a problem when
people... it as though it's the wrong thing to have.
No. I said it's a valid question. Once the campaign opens up, why not? What I'm talking about is when people start to suggest as if there is a candidate who is ill, who is hiding it. If you have evidence that any candidate is sick, bring it on. That's what I'm saying. Bring it on. And you're talking about the sick doctor treating patients. The person that did surgery for my daughter's leg was himself a cripple. I didn't question his expertise, and he did it, and she's working. She's fine.
Nobody. I'm not sure we have.
So what I'm saying.
I'm not sure on this
what
program
I'm saying.
We've made a statement as to the health of your. These are questions.
I'm not talking about my candidate. I said any candidate.
Okay.
Any candidate.
So because you are speaking for your candidate.
No. I'm not.
And you're raising this issue.
Hold on. Because you keep talking
maybe
about.
It's an issue for you.
You keep talking. No, it's not an issue for me because you keep talking about. There's one candidate who is not well. We have to check out whether the candidates are fit. If you have any evidence that any of the candidates, not only mine, any of the candidates is sick, bring it on. Let Nigerians know.
All right.
But as far as I'm concerned, our candidate is mentally sound, is physically fit, he is progressively minded, he has demonstrated capacity to govern a state as complex, as large, as economically boisterous as Lagos. He has helped a government come into place in 2015. He has done exceptionally well in his different fields of endeavors where he has found himself. We are proud of him we are proud to put him forward, and we are ready for anyone.
Is PDP or Labour Party a threat to your party? Your party is a ruling party.
Okay, let me say this, right? And answering this question, let me tell you this. As a politician, generally, and this is me speaking, I'm not speaking for Ashwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu right now, or the APC or the campaign organization. As Ismail Ahmed, I always believe that in a contest, in a political contest, anyone who comes up and said he's contesting against you, I automatically consider him a challenge. Not a threat, a challenge. So I do all I can to make sure that I come out on tops. And that's what APC does. APC, we are ready to go granular. We are retail politicians. We are not wholesale politicians. Yeah. We don't sit down in one place and we shout. We go granular. We go down to the game. We are mobilizers by nature. We have been in opposition for 16 years at the federal level. We understand how to mobilize people at the grassroots. That's what we're going to do. Labour Party, PDP, NNPP, you name it, anybody can come. We are not going to take them as a threat, but we are certainly going to believe they're a challenge, and we are going to make sure that we surmount those challenges.
Let me allow Charles to react to some of these issues.
Shehu, if you were not the one interviewing us, I would have asked you to respond to my brother in the studio, because you have lived for a very long time in Lagos. I wonder the Lagos he's talking about. Is it not the same Lagos that the governor of El-Rufai, a very key member of the APC, clearly stated that once you have lived in Lagos, you are a candidate of heaven because you have already suffered on earth? Is it not the same Lagos where when it rains, you cannot even move anywhere? Is it not the same Lagos where people spend as much as 5 hours for just a 30-minute journey? So when they talk about what has happened in Lagos, you begin to wonder whether they are speaking from the moon, or perhaps some of them have not been to Lagos. I was in Lagos just 4 days ago, Shehu. I don't know the Lagos they are claiming that there was so much record by their candidate. But I don't want to go into that, because for us, We have a lot of issues to talk about. There are a lot of problems affecting Nigerians that interest us, that we need to provide solution for. We are very much interested in the vehicle, which is what our party have done in the past, being the vehicle. We are very much interested in the driver and the conductor. That's our presidential candidate and his vice presidential running mate, who are the driver and the conductor of that vehicle. We're also very much interested in the passengers who are going to bring on board, Nigerians, who ordinarily for a very long time have been left under the rain. Instead of being carried along, they help push the vehicle, the driver moves, and they leave them behind. For us, we are going to be very much interested in how we are going to move with them in that vehicle and drive very, very safely. What we are going to be doing is not to dwell in what the other party did not just do. We are going to provide solution to those things that they have not done, that have added pain to Nigerians in the last 7 years. For instance, he mentioned individuals talking about the performance of PDP in the first 16 years. You recall, Shehu, that not too long ago, many Nigerians were even pleading that they should even take them back to 2015, where the bag of rice was 7,000 naira. They should take them back to 2015, where the price of petrol was 96 naira per liter. They should take them back to 2015, where the price of dollar was just 168 naira to the dollar, as against what it is today. They should take them back to 2015, where Nigerians were far, far safer. I told you the last time I came that one thing that the APC government administration had democratized is insecurity, which was restricted to a part of the Northeast when they came in. They keep preparing
just a moment, so that we can wrap up. Let me get Ismail's final thought on the program, so we can just anchor on that. I'll come back to get yours. What's your final thought on
my final thinking is that we are ready for issue-based campaign. We've always run on an issue-based campaign. You know, it's very funny that you find people who live in Lagos, who want to live in Lagos, who think that Lagos is the El Dorado, who leave their states, you know, of origin or their base, and they go to Lagos to find succor, you know, and economic prosperity. And there's nothing wrong with that. We're all Nigerians. We can move around to anywhere we want. But to sit down and then accuse the very people who have helped build that city into what it is, into where you want to go and seek for greener pasture, so to speak, you know, to insult them that like because of politics, that's fine. If that's what you want to do, that's your choice. My final thought on this: we are ready for an issue-based campaign. We're not going to shy away from it. You know, you can speak all the good English you can be suave, you can have as many spokespeople as you want to come and try to launder, you know, an image of someone that has run against the same record that he wants to run for now or on now. You can do all that.
How easy will your party be
ready,
able to, based on the
we are ready for an issue-based
for the last
campaign.
7 years?
Oh, yeah.
How easy will it be to convince Nigerians to vote for the party?
And he gave an example of all the things that have gone up. Absolutely, that is true. You know, things have gone up. But so also has our income has considerably gone down. Yes, we would also like to be in a place where we have $100 to a barrel for, you know, straight up for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years, 7 years, 10 years, 20, 15 years, 16 years. We would love to have that kind of situation as well.
So there's a reason for the problem.
If we had that, and we would love to have an opportunity to subsidize dollar for people who could use $2.2 billion to import foreign cars whenever they want, or $5.2 billion to import champagne and Dom Perignon, and that's what they do. So if you want to do, there is a false equivalency of an argument that they are making. I'm not saying that we are in an El Dorado, or we can all hold our hands and sing Kumbaya right now where we are. We have challenges, and that's because we've had challenges with our income. Okay. But bottom line is that Ashwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, Senator Kashim Shettima, and the whole bunch of the APC family were ready for an issue-based campaign. And once the curtain is lifted up, just watch and see. Thank you very much.
Let me get Charles. Thank you so much, Ismail, for your thoughts there. Let me get your own thought, Charles. Your final thought on the program tonight.
Shehu, we are not only doing issue-based campaign. We have already identified the issues in this particular document titled "My Covenant with Nigerians." Atiku is not waiting for the campaign to start for him to identify those challenges that today affects every Nigerian. He's very much aware that the economy is not working and that Nigerians need jobs. We want to talk about it. Let me see how my brother will respond to that in the course of time. We want to talk about the fact that our children who are supposed to be in the classroom are losing the entire session 1 full year we'll talk about is an issue. We will talk about how the naira in our pocket has become weaker than the tissue paper. That is also another issue. We will also talk about how it is very, very unsafe for people to even travel 2 kilometers away from where they live, particularly even when you are living in the Federal Capital Territory. That is another issue. We will also talk about how they have been able to mismanage our diversity such that when you talk about the security architecture, you have persons from just a particular region of the country presiding and then not giving other parts of the country to be able to also contribute. We will talk about all those issues, including the fact that there are candidates that everything about them, including their businesses, is unknown. Today, as I speak to you, we can say that Atiku is the owner of American University of Nigeria in Adamawa. I will need my colleague, by the time we start the campaign, to tell me what business this man who is very stupendously rich, what business he runs. So I am happy that he's looking forward to issue-based campaign. When that time comes, we will tell Nigerians who have been able to do business and do it right and who have certificates that can be verified.
Thank you so much, Ismail and Charles, for your time tonight. I appreciate your time.
Thank you so much for your patience to watch from the beginning to the end. I hope you have learned something from the video you have just watched. The video you have just watched is to bring information to your doorstep and for educational purpose. It is not to demonize anybody. Let us watch continuously and see who can be able to make a sense out of every nonsense we are seeing. We must continue. We move. It doesn't matter what they do. It doesn't matter what they say. They will kill us. We will kill them. At the end of the day, Biafra is here. Thank you for watching. If you have not subscribed to the channel, please kindly subscribe to the channel. Click the notification bell so that you're notified each time I upload a video. You will be among the first to receive it. Thank you and remain blessed. Bye-bye. See you again.